Hello, my name is Nikki Lamb from the Neil Squire Society, and this presentation is on basic nutrition. This presentation will advance by itself. All you need to do is observe and listen. I will read and explain all the information as we go along. So what are we talking about when we talk about basic nutrition? For the purpose of this lesson, we're speaking to 5 main food groups. They are vegetables and fruit, grain products, milk and alternatives, meat and alternatives, and oils and fats. And so just a little more detail on what each of those is. When we speak to the first food group, vegetables and fruit, this group should make up the largest portion of your daily intake of food. This kind of food, this portion of food needs to be rich in a variety, all different colors, fruit and vegetables. Many of them have been known to help reduce the risk of some kinds of cancer and reduce the risk for heart disease. You need to eat at least one dark green. So when I'm speaking of a dark green vegetable, I'm speaking of spinach or broccoli or romaine lettuce or kale or any of those. And one orange vegetable every day. And an orange vegetable, carrots, squash, anything orange in color. Choose vegetables and fruit that are prepared with little or no added fat, sugar, or salt. Lots and lots of canned vegetables and canned fruit that we eat the canned vegetables have added salt, and the canned fruit, lots of it has added sugar. So really read your label and be aware of what you're taking into your body. As far as canned vegetables, one thing you can do is rinse them before you cook them or eat them, and then you'll rinse some of that salt off. Have vegetables and fruit more often than vegetable or fruit juices. Now, they both have about the same amount of vitamins and nutrition, but what the actual vegetable has, so what an actual apple has opposed to apple juice, is the apple has the fiber in it, and fiber is a really, really important item that we need in our diets. Second group, grain products. Now, grain products, especially whole grains, are a really good source of fiber, and they're typically very low in fat. So when I'm talking about whole grains, I'm talking about non-white grains. So brown rice, oats, barley, quinoa, wild rice, brown rice, whole grain breads, oatmeal, whole wheat pasta. Not white pasta, white rice, white bread, but they're brown alternative. Foods rich in fiber really help you feel full. They fill your stomach. And a diet rich in whole grains also helps reduce the risk of heart disease. Fiber has been known to actually draw fat out of your arteries and takes that fat, absorbs the fat and takes it out of your body, which the hardening of the arteries, the fat in the arteries, is what causes a lot of heart disease. Make at least half of your grain products whole grains or the brown grains each day. And again, choose grain products, and this is back to label reading, that are low in fat, sugar, and salt. Milk and alternatives. They're very, very important for bone health, strong bones. You need milk or a fortified soy beverage every day to provide the nutrients you need for healthy bones and optimal health. So drink skim milk, 1% or 2% milk each day. Whole milk has a lot of fat in it. Skim milk has the same nutrients, the same vitamins in it as whole milk does, but it doesn't have the fat. 500 mils or 2 cups will provide the necessary vitamin D. If you don't drink milk, you need vitamin D fortified beverages. For example, some orange juices or other juices will have vitamin D fortified written right on the front. Look for those if you don't drink milk. Vitamin D is an extremely important vitamin for bone health and just health of our body, and the only place we get it is in milk. Select lower fat milk alternatives such as low fat cheeses, low fat sour cream, low fat yogurt. Yeah, occasionally, have the ice cream. It's so delicious, but you're going to want to, more often than not, select the low fat milk products, dairy products, because any animal fat is a saturated fat, and we'll talk a little later about why that isn't the best choice of fat for our diet. Meat and alternatives. Meat and alternatives provide the very, very necessary protein, the needed fat. We do need some fat in our diet, and many other important nutrients, including iron, zinc, magnesium, and your B vitamins. B vitamins help us manage our stress. You don't need to have a large amount from this group to satisfy your nutritional needs. Really, a serving of meat is the size of a deck of cards. And how often when we're at a restaurant we order that nice juicy steak, it comes a lot bigger than a deck of cards. So really be aware of what a serving size is. Have meat alternatives such as beans, lentils, and tofu. Tofu is a soy-based protein, and it actually doesn't have a lot of taste itself. It absorbs the taste of whatever you're cooking it with, so whether spices or vegetables or whatever you're cooking it with. Experiment with these things, especially if you haven't had beans or lentils or tofu in your diet. Give it a try, see what you think. Eat at least 2 servings of fish each week. Select lean meat and alternatives prepared with little or no added fat or salt, meaning you're going to want to broil or grill your meat rather than fry it in oil or butter or something like that. And if you eat luncheon meats or prepared meats, sausages or any prepackaged meats, please read the label and choose those that have a lower salt and fat content. Oils and fats. Now, there are different types of fats in foods, and you've heard lots about this, I'm sure. Saturated fat, unsaturated fat, and trans fat. So choosing the right amount and types of oils and fats can lower your risk of developing certain diseases, such as heart disease, and I think there's also linking some cancers and things to the kind of fat we have in our diet. For good health, you only need a small amount of unsaturated fat in your diet, 2 to 3 tablespoons, and really limit saturated fat. Saturated fat typically come from animal proteins. Trans fat, a big no-no. You've probably heard a lot about that in the news. We don't want trans fat in our diets. Read your labels. It's all on there. So that 2 to 3 tablespoons includes everything you use for cooking, and salad dressings and mayonnaise and margarine and all those things. So really be aware of how much fat you're taking in a day, and limit any kind of fat that is hard at room temperature is a more saturated fat, and we really want to limit those. So butter, hard margarine, lard, or shortening. Unsaturated vegetable oils. Now, these are the ones that are good for us, better for us. Canola, corn, flaxseed, olive, peanut, soybean, sunflower. Oh, now what we're drinking, hugely important, beverages. Make water your beverage of choice. If you don't really like the taste of water, add a lemon, lime, some cucumber, orange wedges, anything will give it flavor. And then milk, fortified soy beverages, and 100% fruit juices are also healthy options to get our fluid. Coffee, some teas, colas, and energy drinks contain caffeine, which is a stimulant, and sometimes that adversely affects people, and you will know whether it affects you or not. You need to limit the intake of soft drinks, sports drinks, energy drinks, fruit drinks, punches, sweetened hot and cold beverages, and alcohol. These beverages can be very high in calories and low in nutrients. I just saw a program the other day where they were showing one of the Starbucks I think frappuccinos or something with whipped cream and stuff on it. It came to just under 1,000 calories and really quite empty calories. So these are what you need to remember. Eat sweets and fats sparingly. Choose low-fat options from meat and milk groups. Eat whole grains, your brown grains. Choose beverages and food that moderate your sugar intake. Choose and prepare foods with less salt, and drink alcohol in moderation. And your quote for this lesson. I like this quote. Don't dig your grave with your own knife and fork. It's an old English proverb. And just really be aware of what you're putting into your mouth and taking into your body. This concludes our presentation on basic nutrition. If you have any questions on this presentation, please do not hesitate to contact your assigned facilitator.